So why do you think you do it?
Well, at first it was a prank. Uh, we kept riding past this house. I knew people were living there, and there was this quite beautiful statue, and there was nobody appreciated it or anything. So I thought, well, that's a nice statue. So I put it in the back of my pickup. I took it home, put it in the backyard, and didn't think much of it. Every once in a while I looked at it, and it occurred to me that probably I should have another one. So, riding around different parts of town, I spotted another quite nice statue, and took a look at this statue, and saying to myself, I should have that.
Aren't you aware that this is against the law? You're taking something that belongs to other people.
Well, I think the way I feel about it is I don't think these people really appreciate how beautiful these pieces are. And besides, they look a lot more beautiful when they're in my backyard with a lot of company. In other words, all the statues set up properly. So I don't know. I think probably the statues feel more comfortable too.
Do you take anything else besides
No, no,
statues?
no, I'm not stealing. By no means am I stealing. There are some statues I simply could not get. They seem to be anchored to the ground. I don't know why people would do that.
What kind of statues do you particularly like?
I have quite an assortment, and some are animals, some are humans, and some are like bird baths, and then some are religious statues, and I have one in particular, St. Francis, is very beautiful. And I think I need 6 pieces more to make a really nice collection.
This is actually the skeleton of a porpoise. We were out on Terracea Island in our boat and found the dead porpoise that had had its head and flippers cut off. It had probably been captured in a net and shot by fishermen. The raccoons had been eating it. We could see little paw prints around. So we put it in a plastic bag and brought it home and put it on an ant heap, knowing that the ants would eat the flesh off and that we would end up with the bones. And our intention was to do as we have, is to hang it up and have it as a wind sculpture. Also, when people come and they ask about it, we can point out, what happens to the animals. And one of the things I've noticed is how much these bones resemble the giant flukes, or not flukes, but the giant bones that you see in museums from whales. So they're obviously part of the same family. We just sort of find it interesting. We had some people come by one day, and I was out, they'd come home from lunch and was dressed in suit and heels and nylons because I'd come home from work to feed some birds, baby birds, that we had hand raised. So I walked over to the clothesline where this was hanging at the time and called birds, birds. 2 birds flew down, and I was hand feeding them something like cereal or pablum with a spoon when the FPL guy walked up. And he sort of looked at me quizzically, and he asked what this was, and I said, well, it's, a dead porpoise. And he says, oh, and he walked off, and I could picture him going home that night and talking to his wife and saying, you aren't going to believe what I saw today. There was a lady who was spoon feeding wild birds, and she had a skeleton hanging from her clothesline. And his wife was going to say, you've been drinking on the job again.
Uh, the, the, the statue that sells the most is St. Francis because it appeals to all people, the Catholic as well as others, because it's a statue that represents the patron of the garden.